So we have the good news for the PlayStation 4. Don't have to be connected to the internet at all times to be able to play your games, which is really nice because that's one of the things that we all feared about going and moving on to the next generation, especially with the next PlayStation. And we were still pretty much waiting on Microsoft to go and find out that news. And then we were worried, well, used games or rented games or borrowed games or anything like that. We were worried that they would not play on the system. So, you know, the titles would be tied to the individual consoles or the individual accounts. Well, all that, it was pretty much just left in, like, dust. Boom! Pow! But then we got bad news, of course. You know, gotta take the good, take the bad, then you got the facts of life. The facts of life! So, Sony dropped 2 bombshells on everybody. You dropped a bomb on me, you dropped a bomb on me, you dropped a bomb on fans, and now they're really pissed. PSN purchases for your PlayStation 3 will not carry over to the PlayStation 4. How do you like that? You know, we're really emphasizing going all digital, except for, you know, the transition from one console to the next is pretty much going to leave you going, it doesn't do much of shit. And when we stop supporting the PlayStation 3, which they will, you're shit out of luck. And everybody that was assuming, everybody that made the assumptions of, hey, it's going to be a grand old time just going all digital. You wonder why people say they want physical discs all the time. Well, then there was one other little minor teensy-wincy issue, and that actually has to do with the physical discs. Do you have any physical PS1 games, PS2 games, and down here where you can't fucking see it all, PlayStation 3 games? If you do, well, they won't be playing on the PlayStation 4 whatsoever. So that's 3 generations worth of PlayStation content that you won't be able to play whatsoever in physical format. Now, albeit they did come up with a solution, a little alternative. They said through the PlayStation Cloud via their the streaming service that they're doing with a third-party company called Gaikai, they're going to make it so that you'll be able to go and stream content. You know, all the available content that they have there, which if you look at a master list of PS1, PS2, and PS3 games, and then compare it to what's available right now, just on PSN for shits and giggles, it is an extraordinary... okay, the gap between these, it's hundreds upon hundreds of games. It's fucking staggering how big of a difference it is. So you'll be able to stream like 1/20th of the overall PlayStation library. So, and this is something that baffles me. I understand why they made it so that there is no playback for the physical discs. It's because they want to cut corners and they want to make the system as cost effective as possible so that they don't pretty much have the same exact problem that they did when the PlayStation 3 came out. It's like very nice hardware capable of doing a whole lot, and we gotta go and let you in on something that's real fucking expensive. $5.99 US, $5.99 US, $5.99.99 US, 600 bones! That's right! 600 fucking bones. Nobody had that kind of loot. And it was very evident from the get-go. So they're trying to avoid having that kind of misstep occur again, back to back. Really don't need some shit like that. But the thing is, if you offered up 2 systems, okay, one as an alternative, and we'll say for sheer hell of it, this system will be anywhere between $100 to $150, which is not completely unreasonable, just given the fact that that's probably about how much it would cost for them to go and incorporate this kind of tech to make it so that this could play PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and 4 games. I mean, I understand that nowadays, game console manufacturers want to make it like a little media hub that does everything and anything, but it seems like games is on like the 3rd or 4th of, you know, what's important of their list. Well, how about this? You make it like, call it like a PlayStation Squared or some shit. And a PlayStation 4 Squared. Oh, I don't fucking know. I'm just fucking throwing it out there. But something that plays everything PlayStation. Wouldn't that be nice? You know, a game console that plays all games. Yes, it is a very large convenience, but keep in mind that Sony is one of the main companies that introduced backwards compatibility to the masses in a big way. And everybody's just like, wow, you know what? I kind of like that idea. That's what made the transition from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2 a lot easier for a lot of people to go and be like, yeah, I don't mind doing it. I've amassed this entire PlayStation 1 library. I don't want to have to go and move on, and then what? Well, what do I do with all this? So, they incorporated it. PlayStation 1 playback on the PlayStation 2. And it was real nice. Faster loading time and smooth out the fucking jaggies and stuff. I was like, fuck yeah, that's awesome. And they did it initially with PlayStation 3, as we all knew. And then they were like, you know, that's... fuck doing that. Let's go and take that away. So no PlayStation 2 playback, and eventually just pissed off a whole bunch of fucking people. As a matter of fact, that was one of the very first videos I ever did here on YouTube. Was talking about the lack of PlayStation 2 backwards compatibility. I was like, you motherfuckers just want to fucking Macho Man elbow drop you, or Stone Cold Stunner you, or fucking Tombstone Pal drive you, or some shit like that. I have absolutely no clue. And for the 1, 2, 3 World Heavyweight Champion of Omega Sin. That'd be extremely awesome. But anyway, back on point here. So, PSN, if you purchase anything on PSN and you want to go and get a PlayStation 4, it won't be carried over. Why? Now they're trying to say, well, we're trying not to make the system, we're not trying to tax the hardware so much by making it emulate PlayStation 3 stuff. I can't fathom right now how the fuck they can't work this out. I really can't. Like, the architecture on the PlayStation 4 is supposed to be a lot more accessible, but it can't do this. And I just want to try to understand this. You can't get digital copies to go and work on here? Why? And then apparently they can do this, but only if they want to. Which they haven't come forward and given any... They haven't given any kind of word on that. So, you're really going to run the risk of alienating how many people that bought a PlayStation 3? And how many people purchased stuff through the PlayStation Network? You're really going to run that risk? Are you fucking mental? And then on top of that, physical games, PlayStation 3 games, you know, the stuff that you're buying right now will not be able to carry over unless you're fortunate enough to see it on the PlayStation Network or the cloud or what the fuck ever they plan on having. And the thing is, even if it's on PSN, that's only if they decide that they can go and work this around and emulate it and shit like that. It's like, what the fuck? You know, you blew a bunch of people away with the presentation, and a lot of people already saw this stuff coming from a mile away just because the rumor mill was, you know, pretty much like 100% damn near, and just batting for 100, and it was like, you know, that's pretty fucking cool, but then you drop shit like this. Way to sink your own fucking ship. Everybody was all excited, and then it's all of a sudden, this. You know, that's a make or break situation. Big time. Lack of backwards compatibility is a hard transition to get people who were already accustomed to this generation right now and are still relatively comfortable in it. And what you're supposed to be doing is trying to appease them. You're trying to go and show off your wares and be like, yeah, come on, you know, it'll be cool if you go and spend that money because it'll be alright. You'll be able to play all your stuff that you already did. Oh wait, you won't be able to? That's how you get people to stick with the past hardware. Then eventually what will end up happening is they'll stop supporting it altogether, and then people are left with their fucking thumbs up their asses. That's one of the reasons why I don't like an all-digital world. It's very shaky. I mean, is it convenient to be able to download something at any time whatsoever? Most definitely. You can get on day one without waiting in line. You just get it from your home. You can be sitting around in your boxes, scratching your fucking balls. Get a game right there. Bickety bam. You have it on a fucking spot. You do one of these. And you're like, damn, I need a fucking shower. At which point, fucking get your fucking hygiene in check. But, you know, being able to get the digital copies, that's very fine and good. But it sucks really bad whenever all of a sudden it's just like, poof, vaporware, gone. Just doesn't exist anymore. Yet, I've got all these games from the fucking mid-90s and up, 2000 and up, and all the PlayStation 3 games, and they play just fine, without a hitch. But this stuff, you know, this is one of those things that a lot of people are saying, I'll just go and fucking straight in a PC game. I'll stick with what's out right now. Like, you know what? I'll actually hold off and see what Microsoft's going to say. That's the opposite of what you want to see happen. What you want to see is everybody, even the naysayers, be like, you know what? That's fucking awesome. Do the games look good? Yes, they look really fucking good. But we're talking about an overall product. We're talking about a device that should, in fact, be doing everything and anything as a gaming machine, especially when Sony went far out of their way to go and fucking talk about the evolution of the PlayStation brand, going from just being a fucking little add-on for the Super Nintendo. It came a long way and then became its own fucking console, became a juggernaut. The juggernaut, bitch! Bam! Been watching X-Men, the animated series on Netflix. Fucking awesome. But, you know, So anyhow, and then went on to the PlayStation 2 and just fucking destroyed. So 2 back-to-back generations being a fucking badass. This generation, there's a lot of fucking ups and downs and stuff, but this is where they could have really fucking shined. News like this isn't how you shine. This is pretty much how you become like a fucking wet fart in the wind. And nobody wants to see a wet fart in the wind, let alone pay a bunch of money for a fucking wet fart in the wind that's not going to be able to do every goddamn motherfucking thing that you want it to be able to do. Now people could go and fucking say and retort with this, well, nobody's telling you to buy it, just keep your PlayStation 3. Listen, numbnuts, if you're gonna fucking go and be a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate company that is going to have a brand like the PlayStation brand, and you're a company like Sony, and you're trying to go and impress people, you don't impress them by saying, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, and this won't carry over, and you're basically gonna have to double dip for all your fucking purchases all over again to be able to enjoy them on the fucking next tier of hardware and the next coming generation of fucking gaming that's coming out this year? Get the fuck over it, okay? They fucked up. This is something, and you know what? They got time to fix this. I hope for their fucking sake, but all I can say is right now, PSN purchases not carrying over, that's bad. No fucking physical disc playback for 3 generations worth of fucking PlayStation games? You gotta be kidding me. And the only thing that you can offer as an alternative is the PlayStation Cloud service, which is going to cost us money to begin with to be able to fucking play. And on top of that, it's only gonna have a fucking very small amount of all those games from PlayStation 1 and 2 and even 3. Yes, that sounds fantastic. I love the idea of that. Oh, and I love the idea of whenever the fucking, like, PlayStation maintenance, and it's down, oh, I can't play my games whatsoever. It sounds fucking fan-diddly-tastic. I really like that idea a whole lot. So basically, brace yourselves, brace your assholes, because I can assure you 100% there's going to be a ton of fucking bullshit coming in. If this right here is the tip of the iceberg, I don't want to see what the fuck is underneath. I'm just assuming it's something like, I don't know, Godzilla with a big fucking iceberg on its back, or, I don't know, Space Godzilla maybe, because I had those shoulder things. But anyway, excited about PlayStation 4, and then this shit just coming together. What do, people? What do? Seriously, I'm gonna play the waiting game. And truthfully, I'm going to play the waiting game until E3 when they start showing off and basically indulging us as to, like, what the fuck is going on and telling us about more news, what the fuck is going on. We can actually see the price point of the system, see what the console looks like, see the rest of the features, see the rest of the games that are coming out, and for them to give a concrete fucking, like, upfront, here's what's going down with all that stuff, all your grievances and all your fucking problems that you're having right now. I want them to go and say that because E3 is pretty much the do-all, end-all. You know, their little conference that they had, that was pretty much them just going and introducing it. It was like the appetizer. The main course is coming up this summer, so you just fucking wait and see. But it makes me kind of curious, is this a make or break situation for you? For me, it's definitely something I'd be like, you know what, I'm gonna hold off big time. Because a couple titles, yeah, that might be all good and gravy and stuff, but I'm already fucking neck deep in PlayStation 3 games, and I have the fucking, like, first generation PlayStation 3, so it plays all 3, PlayStation 1, 2, and 3, you know, it's fucking good. I'm happy with that right now. But if I'm gonna have a new console that can only play a marginal amount of the games, I'm not sure about that. And the PSN purchases, I purchased a lot of shit off PlayStation Network. Fuck, I just got Nights into Dreams, and I just got Jet Grind Radio. You're saying that it won't fucking carry over? That sounds fucking retarded. So, anyway, is this a make or break situation for you? Is this something that you could handle in general, or is this something that's just like, sorry, you're not getting my money at all, go fuck yourself, until they go and change it? And what do you think about the idea of them offering up 2 different consoles? Just a regular-ass PlayStation 4 and one that does everything. PS1, 2, 3, and 4, and it's like $150 more? I'd still be okay with that, because you cough up money for convenience, because it's technically 4 consoles in one, so I really wouldn't mind paying that extra money, if it's going to do everything and do it right. So anyway, this is Alpha Omega Sin, as always. Nerds, nerdettes, and gamers. Game the fuck